y'all. Today we're gonna have a fun episode. We're gonna get to talk about misogynoir, which is not so fun, but also about Jidenna. Yeah, I'm excited too. Oh, hi, I'm Dom. Are you single?
Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Miss Yellow here with another video. Thank you all for tuning in. Now we're currently, at the time of filming, we're currently 305 subscribers deep in the domination. So if you like fun videos like Makeup Mondays, Thriving Thursday, and Spicy Saturday, make sure you like this video, comment down below, leave me a comment, just whatever you gotta say. Hit me with your best shot, or no. You can like, comment, share with your friends, and subscribe. Make new videos every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. So today we're going to be discussing a letter, or more so it's an article written by Jidenna for Medium, just like I believe a more like nonpartisan, maybe more liberal leaning news source site, and it's an open letter to Black men. We're going to touch on specifically transphobia and misogynoir in our community. Maybe not transphobia. I haven't read the whole thing yet, so we're gonna read it together. And so I'm excited to see what he says. I honestly feel like before Hassan Piker, who I still adore to this day, I follow him on YouTube. Like I follow him on YouTube. I follow him on, I think maybe IG. I don't remember if I went into detail, but I watch YouTube videos all the time still. Before he was woke bae, Jidenna's always been woke bae. Like this man is pretty woke, and he's very anti-racist and very anti-misogyny. And it's really like, I mean, it's like he's already sexy, but it's like too sexy that like he's trying to, like, he makes the effort to say these things. And if you know who Jidenna is, because I know he's not too mainstream, he should be, like, y'all been sleeping on my man's. I'm just saying, like, he should totally marry me. I'm like 40% Nigerian, just throwing it out there. But he is a singer, songwriter, music producer. He's half Nigerian and half Caucasian. He grew up he was born in Wisconsin and grew up spent some time in Nigeria as well. So he's very in touch with like both American and like African roots, which is awesome. I love all his albums. I think my favorite one, the EP, I love Boomerang. That's a good song. I love The Chief. That whole album is great. And then I do love the 85 to Africa, Sudi Woman. That's my favorite song, I think, from that album. But if you don't believe that he's awesome, why don't you just watch for yourself?
So he is writing this article on the heels of the Black Lives Matter movement, which has been going steady since Memorial Day of 2020. Whenever you're watching this now, we're in late August, almost September of 2020. So it's been about 3 months now of protesting straight. It's just been case after case after case after case that keeps coming. Start off with George Floyd, brought Breonna Taylor as well, but we had recently this past week in Kenosha, Wisconsin, the he's alive. He just was shot. He was shot sometimes in the back by the police. His name was Jacob Blake. He was unarmed, and he really didn't have a weapon. They thought he had a weapon with him, but he like had it like under the mat or something when he switched the car. So luckily he's not dead, but is paralyzed from the waist down. So there's been protests about that. But also too, it looks like, so today is like August 29th or 30th. So about a little bit over a week ago, there was an attack on three transgender women of color. Jocelyn Allen, Jocelyn Busanet, and Eden Estrada. And they were attacked on Hollywood, on like the Hollywood Boulevard, like where the stars are actually, I believe, is where they were attacked at. And I've been there before, like that's like the really like nice area. But anyways, they were attacked by a few men. Now 2 of these women, one was Latina and then other 2 women were Black trans women. And the people that were taking part of it, like that robbed them, were like most like Black men. And then there were like other like Black and Latino men that were standing by. I think some white men even walked by too, and they didn't do anything to help anybody. to help them out. And they're screaming for help. They're running after these guys, taking their stuff. And yeah, but like I'm bringing this up because this has also just happened within the same time frame he's writing this letter. So, but we understand now what exactly is misogynoir, and how do these trans women fit into that, and why was something he want to be talking about. Okay, so misogynoir refers to a specific kind of misogyny that is specifically saved for Black women, both cisgender and transgender Black women. You probably, if you're not a Black woman, you probably haven't experienced this firsthand, but you've probably seen it in action. Actually, President Trump is big on this. He likes to really, anyone who criticizes him, he gets attacked, but he definitely has a special place in his hatred for Black women. See how he treated, how he's currently treating Kamala Harris, who is a Jamaican and Indian, and she's current VP for the Democratic Party. And how he has been so disrespectful to Representative Maxine Waters and Representative Frederica Wilson. Okay, so let's see. And it's let's see. So Moya Bailey. So while writing her dissertation in racism and science and reviewing medical school yearbooks and textbooks from the 1910s, Bailey noticed several jokes about Black women as patients. They seemed designed to put nervous doctors at ease by invoking stereotypes of Black women as sex workers, hypersexual, or unintelligent. It's PG. I love how people are always like, oh, you're playing the race card, you're playing the gender card. You know what? I wish I didn't have no fucking cards to play, okay? This is not a fun game. Let me say that right now. Okay, so, it's a specific degradation of Black women, not any other women of color, and not any Black men. I started to think about that and landed on misogynoir as a way to talk about anti-Blackness and misogyny that Black women face simultaneously. Because I don't get to choose whether I'm Black or a woman. These things both coincide. And that is for the Hoteps and the turfy white feminists. I said what I said. Okay. So where does misogynoir come from? So the concept of slavery, portrayals of Black women as being hypersexual and promiscuous were used just by raping them, of course. Because, Latinos always like to do some rape. Post-slavery emergence of the mammy stereotype. So basically, the mammy stereotype is women, Black women as if you're fat or you're asexual and you're undesirable. So you're less than to white people and they want to, you their caretaker, which nobody wants to be your caretaker. I promise I don't. And in the 1920s, we get the angry Black woman and the sapphire caricatures function as a way to berate Black men as lazy and shiftless. These are stereotypes. But now we have the empowered Black woman the strong Black woman who is empowered, but never vulnerable, has a positive connotation, but robs Black women of their full humanity. Which is, don't call me a strong Black woman, please don't, please don't. I don't need the comment, I don't. Misogynoir, we always constantly comes from pop culture and politics. So yeah, we have when you had both people in I think American media and Latin American media refer to Michelle Obama as a monkey, or they criticize so much about how Serena Williams looks, or just crazy. I think probably the biggest thing I remember, that's I think probably one of the biggest symptoms of misogynoir, is that there was some Asian man in England, I'm gonna pull if I can find it, that said that scientifically Black women were ugly. And I read the whole article because I was like, what the fuck? I was like, sir, is it crack that you smoke? What are you doing? And it was weird because actually by his own standard, he was saying that, Black women were the ugliest women, or the least desirable women, I think is more how he phrased it. And then he was Asian, so he made it out like he's the least desirable man. So I'm like, why would you publish this? This is just... Well, because of backlash, because people were like, no, sir. Nope. But you never see a whole article about how Asian women are ugly, or Latinx women are ugly, or Indigenous women are ugly. Nope. And undesirable. It's just for Black women. They say that kind of people for us. It's annoying. Okay, so why does it matter? Because it's offensive and hurtful. And then also, their racism seeps through to our health system. So mortality, like the maternal mortality rate for black women is much higher than white women. And then when income, like, black women are disproportionately evicted from their houses and face unfair eviction screening processes, trends that are, okay, aha. Okay, and then also says that presentations of black women as hypersexual or sex workers can put them in danger. Strangers or acquaintances who can approach them with innuendos. Some people do feel like very like comfortable just approaching you like sexual way. You're just like, okay, look, bro, I'm not into it. I don't want what you're selling. Go away, please. Go away, please. I don't like men like that. Yeah, but I know I definitely. Yeah, there's some stereotypes that are like, oh yeah, black girls are freaky. I'm like, this is my time to leave now. But here, now we understand what misogynoir is. I'm going straight to the article. It's only 4 minutes. Okay, so this is Jidenna's article. It starts off, my name means embracing the father, yet I'm terrified of becoming one. How can I bring a child into a world where black women are not believed and never feel safe anywhere in the world? I fear bringing a daughter into a world where black women are raped and murdered after protesting, assaulted in a hotel and forced to sign gag orders, constantly tone policed off and online, or intellectually and financially muzzled in the office. I fear bringing a son into the world where boys are socialized to suppress feelings of vulnerability and raised to believe women innately want to be dominated, initiated into a bro code of cowardly silence, and trained to use quiet misogynistic microaggressions that aim to keep women in their place in at home, at the office, and at the party. The world I want to bring a child into is one where black men's default response is not to a black woman sharing her experience as a survivor is compassion, not disbelief. That's powerful. The world I want to bring a child into is one where black men's default response to a black woman sharing her experience as a survivor is compassion, not disbelief. Which is so crazy. Which is what I guess why misogynoir we talk about this so much, because people started the Black Lives Matter movement were black women. Okay, and it mostly is focused centered on cis hetero black men. Who cis hetero black men? You are the white people, black people. Okay, I said what I said. That's facts. And you know, we always show up for them, but they hardly ever show up for us. When we say there's something that happened to us, there's always like this questions of doubt and questions of like, well, are you sure you weren't being too provocative, or sure, like, no. Okay, let's go on. I'm deeply troubled as I watch my peers deny the realities of women who have found the fortitude and courage to share their horrific experiences. I admire these women. I believe them. And I know their stories too well because they are the same as my friends, colleagues, lovers, sisters, mothers, aunties, neighbors. Today it made me cry to wonder how they can still love us, how they can still protect us on the front lines, especially when we immediately interrogate their truths the way white men often do to us, black men, and to black women. You gotta love that like introspection there. It's so sexy. And like sexy like an intellectual way, like sapiosexual. Just say like that's attractive me. I like white people with brains. Okay. There are a lot of slogans out there that speak to these truths by using a slogan with no action as countering. Oh shit, hold on, let me start over. I can't read. There are a lot of slogans out there that speak to these truths, but using a slogan with no action is counterproductive. Protect all black women at all costs. Protecting black women doesn't mean owning black women. No part of love includes possession. I stand with black women. Just saying we stand with black women is not enough. Yo, I think that's the most powerful part of this is like, protecting black women does not mean owning black women. Because there was some dumbass on Twitter, I'm not sure if he was trying to say this like, seriously or saying that as like to be trolling, but he was like, okay, so black women, if you want to be protected, like, if we tell you guys to smile, can you do that? Like, okay, thanks. Deal? Thanks. Like, I'm just looking like, dude, like, you do not own us. Like, you do not own us. I'm not here to be aesthetically pleasing to you. Like, I mean, if I am, like, I guess that's nice. I usually am, you know, it's just, I was born a bad bitch. What can I say? But no, like, we're not, like, I feel like definitely, especially a lot of black men need to get through their head. A lot of cis, hetero black men need to get through their head that, like, black women are not your property, We're not entitled to give you our money, our time, our bodies. Like, you're not entitled to that. Yay, Jidenna. So awesome so far. Let's see. Are we willing to look in the mirror with a therapist? Are we willing to call out the patriarchy and misogyny within our crew? Are we willing to fire a business partner when we discover that they violated a female coworker? Are we willing to call our boss out when they constantly interrupt women, dismiss women, and always ask women to take notes in meetings? Are we willing to read bell hooks? Are we willing to de-escalate domestic dispute among strangers on the street? Okay. Mm-hmm. Are we willing to banish a homie who is known for creepy and predatory behavior at parties? Please, I hate that guy. You know who you are. I hate you. Are we willing to vote and advocate for women's rights? Are we willing to say fuck bro code at the same volume we say fuck the police? Are we willing to be confided in by survivors when they're afraid no one will believe them and when they blame themselves? Are we then willing to temper our rage so that they don't fear us being locked up for retaliating? Yo, that's a real one. I tell my guy friends, I was like, yo, like, I've literally given some men my number just because I didn't want them to hurt me. Like, especially because one guy had literally, like, I was in the store, I was in Kroger, and just dancing like I always do. Like, I'm always dancing. Like, I'm kind of just like a dancing fool. And I guess, like, he saw me, and I was, like, trying to, like, get away from him, because I was like, no, not today. So, like, I think I just got one of my teeth pulled out or something like that. And he actually had followed me all the way out to the bus where I was trying to go home. And there was no one else there with me, so I'm like, I guess I have to give him my number, because, like, I don't want this man to hurt me. Like, I don't know what he has on him. All later turned out he was like a crip or something like that. Like, he was part of a gang. And so yeah, looking back, I'm like, maybe that was the decision, because this man actually probably could have had a gun on him, and that could have been my ass. You know what I mean? But that's, like, yeah, that's really kind of a fear you really have being approached by men nowadays, because it's happening. Like, I've heard of that too happening, where, like, a guy shot a girl for not taking his advances. It was, like, a black man and a black woman. It's just, like, that's scary, that to think that your own community will not hurt you just to prove a point. You know what I mean? Like, that's really scary to think about. So I have a lot of dialogue here. I'm in constant dialogue with women and men about how to create safe spaces for black women in my professional, platonic, and romantic relationships. Yeah, just marry me. I'm like, okay, like, please. This is because I'm not free of toxic residue. My evolutionary process really began with believing women by default. Once this became my default setting, I was able to see how I was dismissive with a joke at a meeting, how I silently did the sexist recording studio culture, and how arguments with my partner started to resemble the toxic behavior I grew up watching in my father. Once I saw myself, I began to confront other men when they used daily my aggressions towards women, like, calm down. I'm telling them to calm down. Just don't do it. Like, things even matter. I introduced a home court advantage rule in my company, where the mic automatically goes to women anytime she's interrupted by the men. Well, that's sweet. My romantic partner and I established a monthly safe space where we could express our grievances, so that we didn't really need to have as many heated arguments. Although those actually may seem like minor adjustments, really much of holding space makes all the difference. But this is what the work looks like. But that's just the beginning. It's a long, uncomfortable journey through self-reflection, shame, accountability, redemption, and rehabilitation. Inevitably, you'll lose parts of yourself. You'll lose brethren on this road, and you'll have to eat it as a casualty of war. This work is our duty. Black women have been doing all the work of protecting us for far too long without us reciprocating. It's our duty to create a world that is safe for black women and with black women. That's really good. I really hope this has a good effect with, because honestly, anyone, like, I can talk all day about misogyny, but, like, most men aren't going to listen to me. At least a lot of them won't, you know what I mean? So it's amazing having a man really be an ally to us, and I hope a lot of men, go to therapy and try to change. Yeah. That's pretty much everything.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Dawn from the future. We're talking about how we can combat misogynoir and what that actually looks like, because it's pretty prevalent in all areas of our daily lives, just because whiteness and blackness are so juxtaposed. So the ideal is to aspire to whiteness. So anything that goes against that ideal is made fun of. So having darker skin, having curlier, kinkier hair, having more voluptuous body type are seen as undesirable traits to the standard of whiteness, if that makes sense. But I'm going to jump more on this. I am going to link this article down below. I'm just going to go over some key points of this. I'm not going to read over the whole thing. Hopefully. Okay. After the days I drove my son to the barber shop, I decided to flip the radio from news to an old school hip-hop radio station. Immediately, Easy E began to blare. Don't recall the name of the song, but it was a standard easy track oozing bravado that involved viewing women as mere sexual objects for the male gaze. Once upon a time, I was all about that wrong message. Long before my face had sprouted a single whisker, my head was filled with sports beliefs I assumed that were facts. I knew girls were playthings. Worse, I knew black girls were even less important than white girls. He says describes anti-black misogyny that uniquely targets black women at the intersection of white supremacy, sexism, and racism. So black men preserve misogynoir against black women through misogyny and internalized racism that associates blackness with inferiority. Cultural messages that present men as whole human beings while regarding women as sexual objects and animals, subhuman, to be subdued by men is baked into our subconscious and infiltrates the development of our social attitudes. Yes, okay. It's misogyny that tells us men that women are disposable and exist for abuse or our gratification. It's misogyny that degrades the very existence of women. And there's a lot more context to like anti-blackness and misogyny, but I'm going to go into the ways that you can help combat it as a black man, a black woman, or a non-black ally. First thing is self-education. The first step black men and anybody must take is in fighting misogynoir is engaging in self-education. Many men may not realize it, but women and femmes are constantly subject to emotional labor, especially when it comes to expending energy, correcting us, or explaining things to us. We should show initiative in achieving greater social consciousness. Preach. That is true. I've had to spend so much energy like trying to explain things to people, like whether be saying white privilege, whether be saying male privilege. Like there's a lot of energy that goes there. So it's a lot. Education means we make an active and consistent effort to learn from black women indirectly. This means dedicating time to listening to them share their lived experiences. Also, less tone policing, that would be nice. Don't just listen, keep going back. Keep in mind these spaces, certain spaces, don't exist to cater to your expectations or ego. Keyword for all the other people said, certain spaces don't exist to cater to your expectations or ego. The next step would be self-inventory. So you need to like look back and check yourself. So now we know we have to educate ourselves. Desire to learn comes a willingness to plunge deeper and question ideas that we've long taken for granted. For us black men, it means examining our internalized racism and misogynist assumptions about black women. It should come as no shock that the influence of racism tends, since the way black view themselves and each other, are continuously bombarded with so many anti-black messages, it leads to self-contempt. If we aren't vigilant and in awareness, people express purposes in subtle or unconscious ways that hold whiteness in higher esteem at the expense of blackness. The haunt of internalized racism spoils our priorities. As black men, internalize racism factors how do we regard and prioritize blackness in diverse respectability politics. Prejudice over critical of the body's behavior and mere existence of black women. Even the Black Lives Matter movement isn't immune to this. We always talk about the men, but how many times stories of black girls and women obliterated by police can you say without looking up? I've gotten a little bit better with this, but still we need to make sure you're keeping track, make sure you're keeping up with black women and also trans people that are being killed by the police. anyone who's not cisgender, cisgender hetero, you need to make sure you're including them in your Black Lives Matter, all Black Lives Matter. Self-hate is real. Don't let it go unchecked because it has the potential to be passed on to your interaction with Black women. Once you begin to conquer all the lies you internalize yourself, it's easier to be recognized and avoid deception with bound to these control messages. Now, let's actually go through some real-life examples of this because, of course, like always, I brought some receipts with me. So we first start off with regular misogyny. Rape is dumb. With all the easy pussy out here, I see why women get upset about it. Bigger than ever to fuck. Why take it? Yep, again, like objectification. Oof, okay. Showing that, like, it is a video, it went viral a while ago. Showing this group of black guys and one black dude, that was talking to a black woman, and she rejected him. She didn't want to, like, get his number or whatever, give him her number or whatever. So he, like, bashed her in the head with the skateboard and knocked her down, and everyone just laughed. So the person retweeting this says, I'm not posting this to bash the dude who's whacked this girl in the head with the skateboard. So to know why no one helped her. You should definitely be bashing the man who bashed this woman in the head with a skateboard for no damn reason. I think this partly shows that, one, not so much of violence against black women is perpetrated against us by black men who are supposed to be our allies, because we're always allies to them. Number two, the fact that no one helped her shows how unprotected black women are and how much people don't really care about us. Another people think that was funny is just disgusting, and we need to change. Okay, and we have colorism into the group chat. Black girls be hitting the beach to tan, but honestly, I don't know how much darker y'all can get. Shrugs. Okay, negative stereotypes. This group of ratchet-ass black girls reminded me why I'm not a fan of black girls. Shake my head. And then from the same young fella from apparently Haiti, we have a conflicting messages that black men give us all the time. So one, supposedly positive. Black women, I love you. Thank you for constantly supporting us and constantly holding us down. Even when the world doesn't love us, you do. Which is true. Then also, low ranking of girls. So Hispanic girls are better than West Indian girls, who are better than mixed girls, who are better than Arabian East African girls, because they're the same ethnicity. Okay. And then snow bunnies, which means white women, and then black girls at the bottom. How sweet. How sweet. And then here's karma right here with this one. So this man said, facts about me, I would never date a black girl. Black girls with ponytails kind of remind me of Kid Boo. When did girls start liking black boys so much? And so apparently he had a child with a white woman whose family constantly calls him the N-word. Which I guess, again, is why y'all should be, I mean, I feel like one of the most common couples, racial couples, is a black man and a white woman, which I'm not hating on that. I'm just saying, you gotta make sure you know who you fucking with, because you'll end up with like this guy. I don't even leave the house and not deal with racism. My family mama, sorry, just karma hit him so hard. Okay. I don't even leave my house and I deal with racism. My baby mama family been calling me nigger. She talks shit about me behind my back. They just cry and ask for forgiveness, rinse and repeat. God made me have children with that. Right people would never, in the first place, get rid of them. I mean, I'm just saying, most likely if you dated a black girl, she wouldn't have been out there calling you nigger. I'm saying you have to date a black girl, but like, I mean, there's no need for the blatant disrespect for no damn reason. Like, again, date who you want, okay? But leave black women out of it. Okay, so we had this meme that was going around for a long time, trying to, again, dehumanize and degrade not just black women, but like dark skin women in general. Like, there are a lot of people, black women, or not black women, but like a lot of people who are in India who have a lot of dark skin and they don't necessarily consider themselves black. a lot of people are indigenous that are considered like have darker skin and don't necessarily consider themselves black. So like, I remember this was a meme though. It says, "Oh yeah, ladies, line up in order from happily married to single as shit." Okay. Okay, now ladies, line up in order from high GPA to low GPA. Mind you, I'm dark skinned and I had a GPA. Okay, it wasn't the highest GPA, but it was like 4.0 and like a 5.0, so it's not that bad. Like I'm not, that was high school though. I don't remember what college was. I really don't. College was rough. Anyways, ladies line up in order from cute to ugly. And ladies line up in order from chill to petty. I mean, light women can be petty too. We can all be petty. I mean, sometimes you gotta be a little bit petty. And I think this last one's gonna be the epitome of everything, of like the colorism, the racism, and like I guess like the kind of, honestly, like black men have just like a bare, like it's a low bar for other, like, so like they expect a lot from black women to be like perfect, like banging body, banging personality, brilliant, like caring. But like the bar for any other non-black women, so like white women, Hispanic women, Asian women, is so low. And this exemplifies that. Black women make a bunch of hit songs about how they love black men. And black women make these videos about love starring almost exclusively black men as their love interest. Black women statistically least likely to date outside their race. Which I'm like, why? We should, I mean, I'm just saying we should get out there. You're hot. Get out there, black woman. White woman moves her left pinky toe on time to the downbeat. Black men. Y'all goddamn nappy-headed weave wearing black bitches better watch out. These wonderful white Becky's coming for y'all. Gets thousands of likes and retweets from other black men and just co-signing. Black women, maybe we should rethink our stance. Black men lose his mind. Fine, if you go ahead and kill the entire community if you want, bedwench. That is so true. Like there's a weird sort of entitlement that I've seen black men have for more particularly prominent black women. Like there was outrage because Kamala Harris has a white husband. There was outrage because Tamara Mowry has a white husband. But it's all cool when white men just constantly, like, when black men constantly get with white women. Again, there's that. I'm just saying, like, you can't be that entitled to us and our bodies. Like, that's just not how life works. Just remember that we are people, not objects, okay? So if you do any of those things like this, you check yourself before you get checked. And the last thing you do is step up, of course. Especially men, especially black men, like specifically cis hetero black men, because honestly, gay men, especially gay black men, like really protect black women. Like I've always been protected by gay black men all the time, like anywhere space I go into. So I'm very grateful for them. So Jamie, step it up. Step it up. Okay, education, self-inventory, granted the critical thinking skills necessary to correct our mental and emotional allegiance to misogynoir principles. But the last step, vital, is to challenge other black men on misogynoir. Yes, you need to challenge your homies, like Jidenna said. Okay. Be that motivation for other black men by using forethought and mushroom courage to go against the grain. When blacks are marginalized in such a way that black men are and can be perceived as the center of attention, we're all over it. Rich profiling, police brutality, damn right, we cry foul, rely heavily on personal experiences, and demand justice. But when black women decry the ways in which they're brutalized by black men, oftentimes for matters that ought to be incautious to us, by telling us no, or not letting us hold a door open, and we become defensive or downplay or find ways to distance ourselves from any associated with these matters. So it's funny how our excuses and avoidance tactics resemble white fragility when white folks refusing to accept the role that they play in racism that privileges them over people of color. We must step up. Woke, how can you be pro-black if you don't take the peril of black women seriously? Black men have a responsibility to both validate and oppose the reality of misogynoir in the way the same way white folks must validate the existence of white supremacy and mobilize against anti-black racism. Why? Because there is no progress without confrontation, other than allowing your Jidenna to continue do your silence, speak up. By not allowing it to go unchallenged, you take a significant step in reducing its acceptability in the world. So, speak up, stand up for your rights, but also too, if you see someone being hurt, like especially a woman of any color, but especially if a black woman, you need to, like, we need to jump in there. I'm jumping in there. Fuck it. I don't care. I can buy new teeth. Fuck it. But definitely, men, if you see a woman being attacked, you cis or trans, black, white, Asian, you just stand up for her. Okay, because all women just deserve to be protected. Even me sometimes, I don't need to be protected. Sometimes, not a lot though. But yeah, that's how we fight misogynoir. If you have any more questions or comments on how we can fight misogynoir, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Can't wait to read them. Anyways, back to what I was doing before. Thank you.
Do you want to show you guys footage of when, I don't know, I didn't actually meet Jidenna, but like he was right here in my face. Like, it was the best day of my life, honestly. Because me and my friend, Jean, we went to go see Jidenna on the Long Live the Chief tour back in 2017, because the tickets were super cheap. And I wore like this little slutty ass dress, and I was just that bitch that night. But at some point some people had left, and so like I was able to get pushed in the crowd, and like literally the last song he did was the Let Out. And when I tell you, he came right to me, like he was like right in my face singing, and I was just trying to like, and there was security guard, like the security guard is on me, like you can see on the footage that the security guard's like right on top of me, like he's right here on my person, like I'm like on his scalp, I can see Jidenna's scalp, like I was that close, like I was right there in the middle circle, like it was the best day of my life. So you know, I think it's a good video. Make sure to tag Jidenna just so like he knows that estoy aquí queriéndote agándome. Just you know, just but like, check it out for real. Like it was awesome.
And that's the whole video for today, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll see you next time. Bye.